Get the latest movie reviews, Hollywood news, and inside views. It's time for Behind the Screens with Lights, Camera, Jackson on 107.7 GNA.
By the way, I'm going to change my approach. I feel very whiny this morning. Like, I really do. I just feel like I'm complaining and I'm whiny. Sorry.
I baited you, though.
Yeah, I know,
did.
but I'm not
Totally
going to be that way anymore.
Okay.
Just
welcome
today.
Welcome to the show.
All right, let's go behind the screens. We'll talk to our man, Lights, Camera, Jackson, and he's going to give us some interesting tidbits on a couple of movies and some other movie news happening that people are talking about. Good morning, Jax. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, guys. For those of you just listening right now, we had the most interesting conversation off air just a minute ago. We really did.
Well, we were talking about these things that drive you crazy, like noises or sounds or people's habits and stuff like that. And everybody has different things that are sort of unique to them. Yours, it was what? The filing of nails?
Filing of the nails, yeah, but also those chewing of like loud noises and stuff. If you're in a movie theater setting, I'm sure that's double annoying.
Yeah. Especially with popcorn.
And Jackson knows. He goes to a lot of movies.
You know, even worse than that, though, are people who, I mean, and everybody's been in the theater, like people who talk during a movie, and they talk really, really loud, like they're entitled to. Like, it's okay. How does anybody think that that's okay?
Yeah, it's crazy. Sometimes they're very loud, or they're on their phone, or they're looking at something. I always see people who are like with somebody else, and they point up to the screen, and they're like, "Look at that." Well, that's the only thing you're really looking at, so you don't necessarily need to point at something so obvious.
Well, unless the person you're with is like on their phone, and you're trying to get their attention. Hey,
Right.
listen, there's cool stuff happening up there on the screen. Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, with that being said, let's start with Annabelle 2, which is getting a tremendous amount of buzz, and people seem to really like this horror film.
It's probably going to win the weekend, be the last big movie of the summer, potentially $30 to $35 million. It's a prequel to 2014's Annabelle and the latest chapter in the Conjuring franchise, which has been very successful for Warner Brothers. This time we're going to learn all the origins of the creepy, sinister Annabelle doll. I was thinking about this. There are no big names in the cast, but for the teens, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds who are going to go see this movie, that really doesn't matter. I think horror is the only genre out there, with the exception of documentary films, it's the only narrative genre where star power really does not matter as far as getting people in the theater.
Well, that's a great point. And plus, I mean, the main character is a doll, right? So if they don't get that right, it doesn't matter who's in the film. And they clearly have. People seem to really like this movie.
People have. The early reviews have been strong. The buzz going in is good. And I think people in that demo want one last big hurrah for the summer movie season.
Let's talk about The Glass Castle, another new film opening up this weekend.
I saw this last night. Drama based on the 2005 best-selling memoir by Jeanette Walls. It's about her life growing up in a dysfunctional family, dealing with the balance between creativity and imagination, and then reality hitting you right in the face. Brie Larson, Woody Harrelson, Naomi Watts. Woody Harrelson is fantastic as a really tough role, unstable alcoholic father. I just was never surprised or blown away by anything that happens in this movie. I expected it to be fantastic. I expected it to be really, really powerful. It's all good. It's all passable. All the performances are solid, with the exception of Woody Harrelson being much better than average. But it does jump back and forth a lot in very unconventional ways. I just wanted this to be stronger.
I know a movie that Chrissy is excited to try to take Ryan to this weekend, and it's the Nut Job 2, right?
Yeah, Nut Job 2. It's an animated, and there haven't been many for the kids this summer.
It's been a really interesting summer for animation, because you had Captain Underpants, then you had Cars 3, Despicable Me 3, which were all right but not phenomenal. Then you had Emoji Movie, and now you have Nut Job 2, and then we've still got one more later on in the summer called Leap from the Weinstein Company, about a ballerina, a little girl trying to become a famous ballerina. So that's out in 2 weeks. But yes, Nut Job 2 is actually in 500 more theaters than Annabelle this weekend.
Wow. And we talked about this a little bit earlier on the show, and we thought it'd be interesting if you sort of expand on it. What Disney is going to be doing to sort of have their own streaming service.
Yeah, they're no longer going to provide content from anything under their umbrella to Netflix starting in 2019. They're going to start up their own streaming service instead, and it's going to happen the year that the current CEO, Bob Iger, is going to be leaving the company. Disney used to have their movies go to Starz. Different movie studios have different deals. HBO has some studios, Cinemax and others. Disney used to go to Starz. That deal ended the end of 2015, early 2016, and then this Netflix deal started up. But now Netflix is already going to end, so they're only going to have this. Disney's only going to have this Netflix relationship for about 2.5 years total, which is not a lot of time. Disney really looking towards the future. They're seeing where people are at. They're doing their own ESPN streaming service coming up. Disney, even though the movies make money, guys, they're struggling financially in several other ways, including the Disney Channel has not been doing very well, especially in comparison to Nickelodeon.
This is bad. Can I just jump in?
To stay afloat.
I just want to jump in. This is really bad. It's bad for consumers that you've got so many different devices and everything is completely chopped up. You know, why can't we just figure out a way to where, you know, we can get everything that we want to watch, not have a Roku, not have this stick, not have a Chico stick, a Deco stick, like all these different things. Now you need a Disney thing. Like people just want to watch what they want to watch. Mm-hmm. And there's 12 to 15 different ways to do it now, as opposed to just one or two. And it's more expensive for the consumer. It's complicated for the consumer.
Yeah, but you'll pay it.
And it's really, really annoying. Now, but you know what? There's going to be a breaking point. This bubble of streaming services is bound to pop because there's just too many different ones now.
Right. But Disney wants to make it. They always wanted to make it difficult when it comes to just about everything in dealing with stuff
yes.
Internally and externally. When it comes to their movies, when it comes to their shows, when it comes to just about anything, Disney wants to get their own way. So this is another way for them to try to do that.
All right, Jackson. As always, if people want more from you, how can they get that? And before you do that, congratulations, because we thought that your charathon that you did for Parkinson's disease and the whole thing was really, really tremendous. We watched some of it. You got through it. You raised a ton of money. You're a good young man. That was a really cool thing you did.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it very much. Yes, you can still watch it, and you can still donate, actually, through the end of the year at fundraise.michaeljfox.org/LCJ Charathon. Had a blast. Want to thank Regal and Colony and Team Fox, T-Mobile, everybody for that. And if you want my reviews, Twitter at LCJ Reviews and lights-camera-jackson.com.
You're the best, brother. Thanks for taking us behind the screens. We'll talk to you next Friday.
Absolutely. Thank you.